It's gonna be good.
Bit Museum, Bit Museum. I like Bit Museum, Bit Museum. I love Bit Museum. We are learning so much about all this cool stuff. I cannot wait for the show.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Jason Cirillo. Welcome to Bit Museum. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in to our prior shows. And by the way, if you have any questions, comments, or show suggestions, trivia, anything, you can just send me an email, jason@robotubegames.com. If you have anything particularly good, we'll include it in one of the shows. So, today on the Bit Museum, we have the rarest of the rarest. This is gonna freak you out. This console is what many people consider to be the holy grail of portable console collecting. It's just like outrageous. A freaking weird console. I think you're gonna be really fascinated by this, so come with me, let's have a look. It's one of the rare occasions that I need to summon the official Bit Museum handler. Handler, I believe you're forgetting something. All right, forget it. Just give me the thing, I'll do it. It's an AdventureVision, holy crap! Thanks, I'm gonna get out of here. This is the famous Entex AdventureVision. Was released in 1982, invented by a guy named Robert McCaslin, who worked for Entex at the time. They only sold about 50,000 of these things, which is really a pretty small number of units. And I would say that probably now, literally, maybe 100, maybe if you're lucky, 100 of these things are still in existence, functioning. It's one of the very, very rare game consoles that actually has mechanical hardware in it. There is a motor that spins a mirror, there's just, once you have mechanical parts, there's just all matter of things that can go wrong. This one, though, luckily has stood the test of time, and it really is a totally whacked out, weird machine, but it's actually at the same time really fascinating too. It was created and sold by a company called Entex in 1982. Interestingly enough, was out of Compton, California. They don't exist anymore. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And Entex was pretty well known at the time for doing all kinds of tabletop little electronic games, you know. The way the AdventureVision actually works is there is a strip of red LED lights that's 40 LEDs tall, and it's a vertical strip right on the side, just one strip of 40 LED lights. And what happens is, on the inside of the box here, there is a mirror, a double-sided mirror that spins around at 7.5 revolutions per second. Now, since it's double-sided and it reflects both ways, essentially that gives you gameplay of 15 frames per second. So at 100 giving you a resolution of 150 per half revolution. Shit, I already got a headache and I haven't even started playing this thing yet. So it's really complicated, but it does give a pretty weird effect. You have 4 buttons on each side of the joystick which have the same functions, which was very thoughtful of Entex, meaning that both right and left-handed players could comfortably play the games. You have this pretty nice tactile joystick here in the middle for gameplay, and this is really neat. The cartridges on this thing are really just chips, IC chips with a plastic housing around them. That's all they are. There's no circuit boards at all, and they just pop right out, and all they are just these little chips, really. There is this sort of giveaway on this machine on the top here that Entex might not have had too much confidence in this machine because they released exactly 4 games for the machine, and there's 4 sockets up here to store cartridges. You see that the cartridges just sit right here in the socket, and that's where you can store them. Aside from Defender, which is a very well-known arcade classic, 3 other titles were produced, all of them essentially arcade classic games. One of them is Turtles, which is a Konami arcade game, sort of a lesser-known arcade game from the early 1980s. There's Super Cobra, which is a very well-known Konami arcade game, and Space Force, which is the only non-third-party game, which is basically an Asteroids clone. Since all I've got here is Defender, why don't we take a look? The first thing you're going to notice, really, is that there's an awful lot of wobble and flicker. And to tell you the truth, that's just the way these units are. I mean, they're just they just flicker and they wobble. I mean, that's sort of what happens when your graphics are drawn by a spinning mirror and a strip of LEDs. It's just not the most reliable display, but it is pretty decent. I mean, you can see the action, you can play the game. I guess this is one of those things you get used to. As long as you're not a sufferer of migraine headaches, or if you don't have any other heavy neurological problems, this is actually not such a bad system to be playing. And as you can see, if you're familiar with Defender, it's actually, I mean, believe it or not, it's kind of a decent representation of the game. The action's pretty much all there. You know, you got your smart bomb and this hyperspace crazy, and it flips out like that. So it's not a bad little version of Defender. And again, if you can get past the wobbly, flickery screen, you probably have some fun with this.
Bit Museum, Bit Museum. I like Bit Museum, Bit Museum. I love Bit Museum. I cannot wait till the next episode because I really liked what I saw.
Oh, I'm sorry. Walking over here.
I like